branch for the whole University of Milano Bicocca. Even if they are quite quick to answer any questions, consider that they only see the general approach to the thesis or internship from the main offices of the Ateneo. Okay? So to start, we understand that, I hope you understand that the internship and thesis are different, and both of them will have some topic to be developed. Sometimes, often, actually, the topic could be shared between them, but the kind of effort required from the student is different, because the thesis is something which you develop anew, so with results, with some frontier topic maybe, or with a final product like a data management system in some company. This is the thesis. Different is the effort expected for the internship. The internship is something aimed at let you have some experience from the company environment or some other production environment, which could be even a research laboratory here in the university. So they have two bureaucratic procedures, different. They can overlap during the time, so they can be in parallel, and they will ask some final outcome which is different. But mostly it's important that you understand that the people following you in the two activities are not necessarily the same. We will go back to this later. So you have two procedures, you have two set of deadlines. We will let you see the table of main deadlines in the next slide. And there is a web page. I tried to, now maybe you will not see this in the online link, but we can go back to that later. Anyway, the web page is one of those e-learning page with the dark red background. Maybe you have seen some on the e-learning website. So we will daremo le slide o no? Daremo le slide? Renderemo disponibili le slide? So you will have the link to this web page, and you can check by yourself what is the content. Anyway, the main alert is to check every time the deadlines which are in this big table. With the red arrows, you see the two main deadlines for, I guess you cannot read them, or almost not readable here, but you can find this table online. And the table is stating that, for instance, if you have the goal to graduate at some date, consequently, you have the deadline for the start of the thesis here. So consider that you are looking for this final graduation day. This implies that you have to present some months before the topic of the thesis. But also, this different red, you have a deadline for the second activity, the internship, related to that final graduation day. So in this case, usually the distance in time between the start of the internship and the graduation is 3 months, roughly, while the thesis can be longer. So the deadline here is to present the proposal for the thesis by January, if you are willing to graduate on June, for instance, of course. So this is a first reference for the strict requirements with respect to the time of your actions. This is compulsory. So if we focus on the thesis activity, you will earn 21 credits, roughly corresponding to at least 6 months of work. So this is the longer effort you are going to plan. And you are required to have already earned 54 credits with the exams. The language for all these activities is English, so you are aware of this. Typical procedures for the thesis. You find the professor, the supervisor, or relatore. This is looked for together with the topic, of course, because you do not choose separately the topic and the supervisor. They go both together. So you go around and ask to the professor you think are working on topics you like, and they will suggest the topic to develop in a thesis. Then there could be another professor, the co-supervisor or correlatore, but it's not mandatory. Okay, so you need to have a professor, but the work could be developed for the thesis even outside the university. So you can have the company willing to host you for work, but anyway, you need the name of the professor, and we suggest that you also have people officially titled to follow you in the company, so a co-supervisor from the company. You have to send a proposal with the form like this, right? To the Segreteria, and Alessandra Carnevali and Leonardo Longo here are gathering them. In the same web page we pointed earlier, yes, it is the same. You find also the file of the empty form. And so you have to follow the deadlines we saw. Okay. Then the committee will evaluate the project that you will be writing in this form, and in a few days you will have the approval. Then you can start, and I think everything will be recorded in the acts, in the doc papers of your status. Okay. Remember that the participation in the final graduation session is not automatically implied by your starting the thesis. You will have to ask to apply for the final session explicitly. Okay, this is what is written there, right? So we can do this now. Any question about the thesis? In the lecture room, they see my browser switching around, but now I'm looking for people at home. Any question about the thesis here? Any? Okay, so we can move to the internship, I guess. Nothing from the people online. Internship is different. It is smaller in time, in credits. You see 6 credits. It's different in the outcomes. As I already said, the thesis has a heavy result to be produced by the student with the help of the supervisor, while on the other hand, the stage actually has a final outcome, which is mainly one-page report about what has been done. What is important is to have an experience with a good tutor in the company. And even here, it is to have a university tutor. So we will see, you can choose to do the internship activity in the university. In that case, you have 2 professors asking you as a company tutor aziendale, or a university tutor. But if you are in a company, which is the usual situation, you will have the company tutor there, and anyway, a professor here as a university tutor. So 3 months long, this activity. And now we start to follow the branching of different choices you have for the internship. So it is shorter, it is somehow lighter in the outcomes we expect, but the possibilities are more complicated. You can choose many different shapes for your internship activity. First and main, when you will move to the online management web pages for your internship, you have to be careful that you could have both ways you see here on the slide. One is the internship, which is the required internship, what we call curricular. You need to complete the internship to acquire the credits associated to it. So you can start only when you are at a good point with your exams, so already earned 54 credits, and all the management of the internship will have to mark the activity as curricular with corresponding credits. But you could also choose to start some activity in a company, usually with a stage which is stage, sorry, which is extracurricular. No credits. It is to be carried out after graduation, right? But anyway, with the company to have a teaching education, how to say, formazione in Italian, and the office is not this one, right? So the management software system on the web is the same S3, Segreteria Online, but the offices to ask about anything are in the main branch of the university. Okay, so now we will consider only the first choice, the usual and required one. That is when you want the credits for the curricular stage. Okay, one alert, one remark, the last sentence you see on the slide. To work for an internship and so to have at the end the credits, you have to comply with all the rules since the start. You cannot start some extracurricular stage and at the end you say, oh, please, this could be worth some credits like it is for the curricular stage. So you have to understand at the start which choice you are going to complete and to comply with the specific rules. For instance, if you want the credits for the curricular stage, you have to complete before 54 credits with the exams, okay? So you cannot have exceptions, right? Is that clear enough? We move to the specific choice of curricular internship. Here, again, you have choices. First, where? Geographically meant. In Italy, abroad. In Italy, you have other choices. You could complete the curricular stage in a company, usual case, or in a laboratory in the university. When you are abroad, you have choices. It could be under the Erasmus trainship regulations, or with a company offering some internship abroad with different formal context. And finally, this distinction, a choice which can be applied anywhere. If you are working in some company, you can also ask to do your stage there, but the procedure is completely specific, not that different, but specific. So it is called project work. This is to satisfy all the rules related to the fact that you are asking eventually for credits because you gave time to the stage, but also you have some obligations to the company if you are employee there. So this paperwork, the project work, is required if you are working in the same company. If I'm trying to think about some specific situation. If you are working in a company and willing to do the stage in another company, of course, they have to agree that you will spend time in a different company. But this is not related to our duties. So usually, if you are working, you stay there in the same company for the stage. And this is the procedure called project work. Is it working? Okay, coming. Now, first setting. Curricular, first choice. This is a curricular internship. It is in Italy, second choice. And it is not in university, third choice you have to make. In this specific setting, you will anyway go to the S3 management website and start your search for a stage. Usually, first, the company is going to publish the stage which can be chosen on the same website, and later you will apply for that stage. Anyway, the interface is something like that. You will see that the menu on the upper right part of the web page is listing a set of contexts, and the bottom one is related to the internships. So this is for the looking for, questa è per la ricerca, vero? Quindi quando uno studente cerca. Okay, because I never saw these web pages, so I'm sorry. So the students will see these pages so that he can look for some proposal from a company. This is a how to say, strange point, because usually the student first informally finds an agreement with the company. Then the company starts uploading the project proposal on the website, and later the student applies for that proposal. So the web system is not recording any steps. So first the student goes to the company, then the agreement, then the starting of the actual recognition of the project, and finally of the application to the project by the student. Clear enough? Okay, I'm checking the any question. Oh. Nah, I lost my full screen. Too bad. Nothing. Sorry, a minute, I stopped sharing, so to have a better screen layout. This way, yeah. Share. Okay, we are on it. So you have to find a company or choose among some proposals already available on the S3 website. Okay, so those are the references we saw first. It is actually gray here. We already saw the slides related to the search for the proposal on the S3 website. Then you have to understand that some proposals could be published on other web pages, for instance, the e-learning web pages of some teaching courses, or news. Maybe data science has some specific news page with the proposals. Anyway, the required final step is the S3 Segreteria Online web system. Nothing can start without passing through that, right? Now, you can have direct connections to the companies or professor if you are going to develop the stage here in the university. So finally, this is single clarifications. So we are in the choice of curricular stage external in Italy, right? Information on the website, general information website about the stage in the university. I'm following through this list of sentences. The company has to sign an agreement so to host you correctly with the university. So the company not only is going to upload the project, but also first has to sign an agreement. Let your contacts in the companies know about this, if not already done, because the agreement can be signed once and then many different projects will be uploaded for different students, but it is required. Now you have to look for the tutors. You are on your own when looking for the company tutor. With respect to the university tutor, it's best that you look for a teacher which is available. Otherwise, I can look for a teacher for your stage, but this will take longer, and you have to accept, of course, the professor I will find. The different roles are here explained. I will not go to the details, but as usual, the university tutor is concerned with the quality of the education you receive in the company, and the company tutor is responsible, is on charge of the development of the work there. Finally, to close all the gaps, if you are so active that you found a teacher available as a university tutor, so you don't need me to look for one of the teachers, just let me know. I am Claudio Ferretti. I will not did not introduce myself, so that I can complete the procedure with the name you will give me of a professor available to be university tutor. Okay, and then everything will go through the S3 stage portal. Yes, go on.
I remember asking you about what kind of professor can be the tutor for the PC for the stage, because there's some confusion on if it's like a full-time professor or if he's just coming for one lesson. So can you give a little bit more clarity on that?
Now, the question is if any professor can be tutor. First, I'm only speaking about the tutor for the stage, okay, for the internship. The only requirement is that he is in the piano didattico, so officially appointed of some teaching, big, small, no problem. He could be even someone from outside the university if he is on contract, right? Okay. So any teacher you meet in the lecture room, okay. In data science, of course, okay. We use the term tutor for a different figure, junior. If you see the name on the timetable of the didactic activity, teaching activity, is fine. Okay. So any professore, esercitatore, laboratorio, yes, but she has to be on the timetable. Okay. Okay. I was expecting a question in some similar to this one. Has the tutor, the university tutor, required to be expert of the field? Actually, it is not. So the tutor, since the task is just to check about the correct development of the learning experience with the stage, any professor can be university tutor, even if he is specialized on a different topic than the one developed in the company. If the student is able to find a tutor, so this means a university teacher which is expert, it is even better, of course, but it's not required. For instance, given the number of stages we have in the data science activity, when I'm asked to look for a professor, usually I'm not able to find an expert of the specific field, but this is not a problem usually. Okay, maybe at home any question? No. Okay, so move on. I am called the referent. Okay, so we complete. I was here. Yes. Of the internship. Sorry, just to make a point. Of course, one office is this is the main office for the stage in the university. So it is not the mail of my colleagues here, but the local secretaria can help anyway for some questions. Okay, now finally, the student at the end of the internship will have to prepare a short report. Okay, not 1 page, as I said, maybe 3 pages. No, sorry, I was mistaken. A short report gathering the updates which are required between the student and the university tutor. So go back with your mind to the development of the stage. During the stage, not at the end, the tutor will expect from you, the university tutor, expect some short summary of what is being done in the company. At the start, typically at the central step of the work, and at the conclusion. So these 3 updates are required during the stage. At the end, you will upload some information about them. But also, as I said, one final report. Okay, this can be short. It's important that is on topic, of course. Okay, no question. I keep on losing my full screen status. Too bad. I want to stay in the 1 hour, but I will have to hurry up somehow. Okay, great. Other details, everything is through the S3 Secretary Online. There is a specific page describing what you are required to do. And also the company will write some final form with small questions about the work which has been completed. Okay, then the really final step for the stage is that the university tutor will click on the approval for the credits, right? The credits will be there. Your activity is completed with respect to the internship. Okay, different choices. You can have the stage, the internship in Italy, yes, in a company, but a special company, my company, that is University of Milano Bicocca. I stress this remark that it is actually a company, the university, because in the same way as you would do in a company, even when you are doing the internship here in Bicocca, you will need 2 people being tutors. Of course, both will be, I like the company in virgolette. Thank you. So the company is Bicocca, and we need 2 people. One will be flagged as the university tutor, and one will be flagged as a company tutor, even if both will be usually professors or researchers or something like that. In this way, you will look for some laboratory or in the doing research in the university. Usually, I do not see this procedure is going above my. The professor you find can directly propose on or the study. So usually I'm not involved some way here. So you look for this page on the department where you can see the list of the laboratories. This describes the list of topics, research topics we have here in the department. Okay, so the set of links you can visit will be on the slides we will make available at the end. Even in this case, you will have to upload the required short documents, the list of updates, 3 updates, and the short report. Okay, so this is similar. Both cases, a company or BICOCA, are quite similar. At the end, the university tutor will approve the acquiring of 6 credits. Another choice, you have the curricular internship abroad, but under Erasmus. I'm not expert here, so we'll move. Okay, thanks, Alessandra.
Erasmus office.
Oh, great. Alessandra is explaining that if it is not being heard, that yes, it is written. The slides have been prepared by Leonardo and Alessandra, so I really thank them. In this case, there's a specific office where you can ask about these procedures, right? You know that Erasmus is a protocol to ease your participation abroad in university activities, learning activities. Okay. But the company could be abroad and not under the Erasmus regulation. So in this case, you have something similar to the Italian, let's say, stage, but you have to describe these on specific forms, not through the web service Secretary Online, right? So there are some specific forms to be handled outside the web system. So with email and scans of the paper, printout and the signatures, but at the end you will have the credits only, once again, you send the 3 updates and the final report. I cannot move to the WebEx page. I'm afraid of losing the full screen status, but if there are any questions, just let me know. Okay, thank you. So I move on. Okay, so there are specific pages it's not that readable, so you will have to follow the links later. Okay, finally, the combination, the setting of the project work. As I said, this is different just because relations to your company. So if you are employee in a company, you are expected to give your time to the company, but if you at the same time want that your time is used fruitfully for your internship, you may, but you have to follow the procedure called project work. So the only requirement is that the company, of course, is going to sign the agreement, and the topic has to be a learning experience for your degree, that is data science. So if you are working in a company building airplanes, you are not expected to have an internship in how to design the wings of a plane. Okay, so you have to work in the time dedicated to the stage. You have to work on a topic good for data science. Okay, so you will need anyway a company is available. That is fine. That is great. So the university tutor can be any professor available to follow your work. Okay, so you fill in the proposal, which has a specific web page for the file. Is it an online form? A form online? Okay. I will only check the contents, the learning quality of the experience which is expected to be developed in the company. So you can have a different university tutor, or I will be the one. But you need, at the end, you will need the signature of the company and of the Ateneo.
the direct department.
Okay, so there's a formal agreement with the department. Only at the end, the student can start. Okay, even in this case, 3 update the union, and you will have you will earn the credits if you complete the form with the 3 dates of the updates. And perfect, like a lecture, so 45 minutes. So please, 2 slides about what you have to remember, and we know that many students forget about. So thesis is separated from internship. If the student is actively linking them, is fine, but it is not required. For instance, some student is mistaken when he thinks that the professor being the university tutor during the internship will automatically suggest a thesis and follow the student for the thesis. This is not automatic. The student has to find the personal availability of the supervisor for the thesis with the corresponding topic. It can happen that the internship and the thesis are linked together, but it's not required and it's not guaranteed. So if I find a professor which is available to be the university tutor of the internship, usually the professor states clearly, I'm not ready to follow another thesis. So you have to be aware that we'll look for another professor for the thesis. This can happen. Okay, in internship you have 2 tutors, we already said all this, and the co-supervisors for the thesis is not needed, but it is possible. For instance, he is useful when the thesis is in a company. You will have the supervisor necessarily here in Bicocca as a teacher, and the co-supervisors will be the people following you in the company for the thesis. Different terms, different roles. Different deadlines. You remember the table we saw at the start. Remember that credits will be recognized only if you follow all the requirements and procedures. You cannot ask for help when ready to graduate, but you missed some formal step. I let you know that you can change something on the run if you formally ask and justify somehow why you should stop before the expected term, even if, of course, you have to have worked long enough, 3 months, to deserve the credits. So you cannot start for 3 months and stop it after 1. You will not have the credits after 1 month. But it happens that the company is writing an agreement about 6 months commitment. In that case, the student could say that, oh, I already completed 3 months. Somehow the company is okay with my stopping here. So even if you commit to a longer than required internship, you can interrupt earlier once you reach the 3 months extension. You can ask for longer times. Consider that the strict term is the graduation session, right? So you cannot go beyond with a curricular stage beyond the graduation. But you can ask different non extracurricular activities after the graduation. Puoi chiedere lo stage senza crediti dopo la laurea?
After graduation, we cover extracurricular.
Okay. So extracurricular can be asked later. Yeah, of course, no credits. Okay, thank you. I guess there will be the last slide. No, two slides. One is to let you know that to learn Italian is a gain, an advantage. So you will have the chance to be helped with the university, by the university. So some future, not yet, non ancora.
We don't know. We will be informed about it.
Okay.
Then we will notify.
So the university is starting to organize some Italian language lectures. We will let you know. Okay.
A2 level courses are already ongoing because they are mandatory
Yes.
for foreign students. But for higher levels, the university is implementing more courses.
Great, right distinction. The remark is that, of course, you need to already have an A2 level, but if you want to go further, we will have some chances to learn stronger Italian with the university. Okay. Yes, this is the final slide which I added. But I now will look at the possible questions on the WebEx page. My last slide is just to open if there's any question, because from time to time, I have to warn the student. Huh? Really? Too generous. Okay. Thanks, Alessandro. Yes, maybe I'm confused. Okay. Tom, you can see the correction. Thank you. Grazie. So just to give some instances of questions, then I will answer. When I'm the one required to look for a university tutor, please be aware that this could require up to a week because, of course, professors are not always on call. And so I will help you and I will guarantee that the tutor will be found. But from time to time, I have to complain with the companies that they expect that the internship will start tomorrow. If I need to look for the university tutor, that is impossible. So no problem. We just on the Secretary Online change the planned starting date, but the student and the company have to be aware of this. It's not nice to see that the company is putting pressure to the student to ask us to be faster. This is impossible, okay? Because we are speaking about availability of a professor is not immediate. So the best is that the student goes for a teacher and let me know the name, okay? Then with you, we already discussed with some students in an earlier date the graduation mechanism. So the scores are the arithmetic conversion of the up to 30 score of the exams, the average, converted to 110. The conversion is the base score for the graduation, and your thesis could earn you a further maximum of 9 points. This is an example question, if I remember correctly. Then we already explained the situation with the tutor and the relatore. And I promise that I will try to prepare a web page with all the links together, or maybe I will just put the list gathered in the final version of these slides that we will make available, right? So because actually, as I started, when I started, I said that there are different offices, different web pages. You can lose your way somehow, but we will try to prepare a gathered list of links. Okay? Questions? Any?
I have a remote internship. remote internship? If possible. Remote.
Okay, no, the question is clear. The answer is difficult. So the question, I guess, at home is not heard, is if we can do internship in remote. Now, when you start an internship, you have a signature and a taking of responsibility of the company. The company will confirm that you work it. I guess we are not in the position of discussing about how you will work for the company. Some companies explicitly stating that the participation in the company activities by the student will be at home with some visit in the company. This is not our field. The didactic activities, for instance, if there could be some exam or something like that, is no longer accepted in remote form, formally, okay? But the work for the company could be. The company is in charge of defining the way that student will work.
So that is within the scope of the company, but the university teacher has to accept it and approve it.
Ah, okay.
The teacher is not doesn't agree with the. I think that we can't accept.
Okay, thank you. Alessandra and Leonardo are saying that the tutor has to be aware and accepting this setting. Okay.
They approve a flow in order to start the internship. So that is within the scope of the company for sure. But the company is something that I agree with. And the university say that I do not agree with the she can discuss with the company or with you, or maybe he agrees. Depende. Yeah. There is full flexibility about this issue.
Okay. Domande da casa, any question? No. I'm sorry to say that anyway you will have doubts. I'm the one asking often to them, to my colleagues, about some specific situations. So feel free actually to really ask when you have doubt. What we don't like, if I can say, is when a student does some missteps and then ask to correct his mistakes or his laziness sometimes. That is not our task. But to make things clear, it is ours. So we are available, of course. Okay. Grazie. So I stopped the recording, but we are still online. Anyway, how far are you from the stage? Okay. Okay.
Like my idea is to be able to do the stage March, April, start. Like
Okay.
I want to do a long stage.
Thank you. So go for it.
By September.
Uh-huh.
I think I'll have it before.
Thank you for answering. Online, bye-bye. I will close the connection. And maybe I will not be the one next March. But spero prima o poi di mollare questo. Grazie. Arrivederci. Arrivederci chi è online, ma